Hey guys, my name is Richard Prynne. Thank you so much for joining me for another video today. Over the past couple of weeks, I have fallen down yet another YouTube rabbit hole, and that rabbit hole is called Dungeon Synth. Again, I didn't even realize this was a thing. I played video games in the 80s and 90s, so the music has seeped into my unconscious. I'm a huge fan of rock and metal. That has seeped into my unconscious. Now, if you put those two things together, add a little bit of fantasy mix to it, you get Dungeon Synth. Video games, fantasy, and metal all combine into this awesome sound. And to top that, you combine elements of lo-fi production. Oh my god! It is awesome. So I've been creating some artists around which to create Dungeon Synth. So the first one I've done and released is Dryad's Grove. Now this is more like dungeon ambience, so it's more kind of like an ambient chill vibe, the type of music you put on when you're playing roleplay games like D&D. Now the next one is The Knights of Albion, an imaginary soundtrack to an old video game. I've just been using like stock orchestral sounds in Logic to give it that kind of old school feel. I've been putting an old cassette emulator on the mastering chain with a little bit of reverb, quantizing the hell out of it, and just having a ton of fun writing this imaginary video game soundtrack in the style of Dungeon Synth. Awesome. Here I have my Logic template for this project, this Dungeon Synth project, Knights of Albion. What we have here is 18 channels of orchestral sampled instruments. So these are all from Logic's built-in sampler. Now, these instruments don't normally pass my test of the kind of hyper-realism that we expect in trailer music or film score. Some of them are nice, but the idea is I've got all these stringed instruments, and then I have my woodwind instruments, which actually I really quite like. I've got my bassoon, clarinets, so English horn, which is such a hauntingly beautiful instrument. Nice. So sad. Flute, oboe, piccolo, grand piano, orchestral kit, flutes and octaves. Oh yeah, that's the flute and organ. A Gregorian ensemble of monks chanting, a church choir, full brass legato, and full strings. Again, I've kind of gone for this sounds like a keyboard vibe, which actually is so refreshing. It's so nice to just go at this and be like, I need this to sound like a keyboard. It's wonderful. The plan here is for me to write a Dungeon Synth track, so a fantasy-inspired dark track, as if we are strolling through the dungeon. Now, the tracks I've written up to this point are The Lone Knight's Quest, which kind of goes into this big romp at the end, and then The Lonely Road. Again. "'Twas a lonely night in the dark forest for our hero." That type of vibe. So I'm really going there, and it's so much fun. In the story, it's about this knight, the lone quest, and then the lonely road. It's this knight going on a quest. It's the hero's journey, essentially. So this is the lonely road. This track here, track 3, I want this to be the sun is setting and it is getting dark. Not, oh no, it's dark, where's my nightlight? It's the goblins are coming, or the kobolds, whatever you want to call it. So this needs to feel almost horror-y. And mysterious. So I'm going to go with that. C flat 13. Yep. So that's basically a C chord with an A flat. C major with an A flat. So I'm treating it as if we're in C major. La 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 la, with a flat 6. A flat 6 and a flat 7. I could add a flat 2 in there. to go full on harmonic minor, but I want to keep the... because it's still hopeful, but it's also a little bit dark. And that juxtaposition is where it's going to be, where we're going to get the horror. Let's lay down a pad first. Just so you know, I've got the cassette on the master, on the stereo out, which is warming nuance. Bit wobbly, bit dusty. Nice. Just what I want, really, to make it sound like it's on a cassette. This doesn't need to be a long track, because this is a dark mystery track, really. It doesn't need to progress past the vibe I am producing. So I'm going to bounce this in place. I know there's that feature in Logic where I forget what it's called, plays the MIDI note halfway through, which is great, but my computer is so full that it's really struggling to hold anything, which actually might be why I'm leaning into these lower memory instruments. I've got my thing here. Oh, I like it there in that register. Let's go there. Okay. So leave a couple of bars. I want this to feel a little bit creepier and have a little bit more of a vibe to it. I don't mean like vibe, man. It needs to feel more obviously scary. I want to have kind of like a Debussy-esque flute thing going on that feels random and meandering. So to kind of give it that meandering and random feel, I'm going to do it as a 5-note thing. So do 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 1. That's it. There we go. That's it. 5 notes. But I want this to not just be 5 notes on the flute. It's going to be 5 notes that are then played alongside. It could be on the flute too. In fact, maybe I'll put that on the bassoon. And then that it could just hold off like that and just break. Actually, which is quite nice. And then on top of this, I want to take this and have it doubled. So it's kind of like in almost in fourths. There we go. So F, we'll go F, E, and then we've got this B. Could go back to an F, and it's to this G, so we'll go up to the A flat, and then we'll go to a D. Let's see how that feels. Okay, I don't like this note here, the A flat, because I think we're going. Where are we? Yeah, A flat, F. So although it kind of fits with the vibe a bit, maybe I'll actually keep it down to a C. There we go. I kind of want it to feel like parallels, but without being parallels. Nice. Nice. Now, what I also want on this is some kind of ostinato. To drive it forward. It doesn't. I don't need to have this, but I just love ostinatos. nice. Let's put that there. Let's put it on the classical guitar. Right, let's give the drone a little bit of time. Let's not bring all of it in at the same time. Start with the bassoon. And then I want the ostinato to start there. Maybe it'll start there actually. There we go. And I'm putting on a large reverb on the bass. Reverb send. So I want it to feel a bit more like creepy woods. Let's take the flute down. There we go. Let's see if I can end it at the same time. There we go. Okay. Really simple stuff here. I want to kind of add to the disorientation. Remember, he's lost in the woods. It's not really lost in the woods, but it's getting dark and he's starting to feel a bit like, ah! That's it. So C, G, E, F, A. I like the kind of like pulsing bing 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 bing. Maybe I'll put that on the ukulele. Where should I put that? I know what it needs. It needs full strings pizzicato. That's what it needs. That's it. There we go. Classic cheese. Right, and we'll bring that in around about here. Nice. This is so fun. It's just like, I'm just kind of completely picturing this, like, really low quality, well, I say low quality, visually low quality, like 16-bit point and click adventure. You know, you're in the woods, you've walked into the set, and you're the knight, and you have to find your way. It's just like, this appeals to me in so many ways. Right, so let's get this going. I'm going to bring that piano in about here, I think. There we go. I quite like that starts on the offbeat. It works really nicely. So let's just quantize that to not 16th notes. Hooray! There we go. This is just fantastic. Love it. I kind of want like a... maybe just need to... Maybe I don't need the choir. The thing I have with this is I get so excited I start just layering and layering and layering, and then I realise I've actually produced quite an epic sounding. It's done. Yes, this is it. There we go. I think that's all I wanted, was something simple and dark and mysterious. And sometimes embracing this in your writing is fantastic. So I'm going to have a little break and I'm going to come back to this with some fresh ears. I'm really happy with how this has turned out. I'll be totally honest with you, I could probably double the length, if not triple the length of this track, just by eking out the gaps between the parts and when they come in. Because with this type of track, you can afford to give yourself a bit more space. But sometimes I just really love a short piece of music. And in this case, 1 minute 10 is perfect. Now, what can you get from this? If Dungeon Synth's a thing that you want to check out, then do it. It's a lot of fun, and I've actually gone kind of more obviously sampled orchestral, but you can go full on synth, just load up a Moog or Arturia CS80 or something, or even just the Logic standard synth, and just approach writing synth music like it's this orchestral fantasy world, and it is a huge amount of fun. Thanks for watching and listening, and I will see you in the next one. you.